your guest comptroller, Kumail Nanjiani. Please welcome to the stage the mayor of Harmontown, Dan Harmon.
Thank you. Guest comptroller Kumail Nanjiani. Good to have him back. All right. I got dressed in the dark again, and I put on one of Aaron's sweatshirts.
You know what? I was going to tell you I really like that sweatshirt.
You know what? Maybe I need to have the confidence to wear tiny people's clothing. Because every time I do, people go like, oh, have you lost weight? And I'm like, no, you should say the opposite. I'm bursting out of little doll clothing.
It's also purple. That's also part of the vibe.
Yeah, well, that's good. It's
yeah.
modern.
It's my favorite color, purple.
I don't want to talk about fashion.
You should start every episode like that.
Yeah. I want to talk about people with children and how they should stop bringing them to fucking hipster parties. I'm 41. It's already hard for me to be at a party of 25-year-olds. I don't want your fucking 3-year-old wandering around, bumping into walls at 8:30 p.m. when there's a campfire over here and a keg over there. And it's like, nah! She's got fucking spider whiskers on her face because... you're a 25-year-old parent, like you're so close to fucking everything up already, and it's so hard for me to be at a party and like your 3-year-old is like complaining about shit, and I'm the only other one other than this person that's like not gonna talk to anybody, so I'm stuck with your 3-year-old. But then I have a choice between looking like a pedophile and looking like a curmudgeon. Because your kid's like going like, I don't like this, I don't like that, and I'm biting my tongue because I'm like, bitch, no one cares what you like. Look at me, I created community. I ain't talking to anybody either. Just keep eating dirt.
And their names, their names are now always like Hunter or Dagobah.
Ophelia, Dagobah, stop. Chewbacca, go to.
Yeah.
And the worst thing isn't the kids, because the kids are fine, whatever. They're dumb. They're as dumb as their parents, and worse because they don't know how to read yet. But they like their parents are the worst because their parents are 25 years old, and their parents think that producing another Silver Lake hipster out of their loins licenses them to be the same people they were at a party, only now louder. I get to be the big doofus lumbering around the party, only now every once in a while I get to go, Clement, what are you doing, Clement? Clement! God damn it, shut the fuck up! Shut up! Stop yelling at your kid, like talking over, like what are you doing? What do we say?
Yeah,
what are we doing?
There's a lot of we. I when you go to the farmer's market, it's a fucking nightmare over there.
What's going on over there, buddy?
Yeah.
You're occupying space with other human beings. Those same people will complain about cell phone usage in a bar. Hey, buddy, you can take that phone outside? Just take your fucking 3-year-old away from my life. Get him out of me. Hey, Suspender, what are you doing over there? The itsy bitsy spider. Shut the fuck up. I'm trying to drink. There's a fire at child level. We're in a backyard. Get your kid home. You had a child. You're out.
Yeah. Tap out of society.
The rules. You know the rules. You reproduced. You're out of there. There's beer here. There's fun here. You're gone. You replicated.
Get out of society.
Go play Itsy Bitsy Spider if it's so fucking fun. You're acting like it's fun because I'm here. It's not fun, Itsy Bitsy Spider. It's repetitive and derivative and shitty.
Like your kids.
Yeah. It's the 27 dresses of shit you say to kids. The Matthew McConaughey didn't know how to commit, so he wrote a marriage column for
I think that's the plot of 7 Matthew McConaughey movies.
He doesn't know how to commit, girls.
I will say, I don't know much about parties, but if your options at parties are either looking like a curmudgeon or a pedophile, go with curmudgeon.
Well, then I'm going to tell a lot of little girls to fuck off.
Yeah. That's better than, is the creator of Community trying to seduce our child?
Because I went to, I have a wife now, and which ratchets me up into suspicion of pedophilia by 150%.
Yeah. Why would he get married if he didn't want to fuck kids?
I'm just saying I fit the profile even more. I'm one white van away from like. I'm just saying like my wife who I just the girlfriend word sticks in my throat now. My wife made a bunch of pies for a pie party, and we took them to a backyard. She's 30. I'm 41. I don't have pie parties. We went to a backyard.
That's exactly the age difference between my dad and my mom. 11 years.
Yeah.
She was 16 though, so. I guess my dad got married because he was a pedophile. It was a different time.
It was on the bubble. And it was on the Pakistani Riviera.
Yes.
Where blame it on Rio.
Yeah. The laws are cheap and life is cheaper.
And everything is controlled indirectly by a distant oligopoly.
Did you call him Allah Goblin? Is that what you called him?
Oligopoly.
Oh, I thought you said Allah Goblin.
No.
You know this is going everywhere.
No.
We're not laid-back people.
I never said Allah Goblin. Tell your friends I did not say that.
All right, settle down, guys.
Oh, my God.
Put that away.
Oligopoly. It's like a monopoly, but it's with a bunch of old rich people.
Not Allah Goblin.
No, Allah is not a goblin. If you're watching this...
He is. He's watching everything.
Well,
he doesn't need fucking YouTube to see this.
It's not Allah I'm worried about offending. It's
his goblins.
Yeah, it's his biggest fans. So I wanted to. Okay, so keep your fucking kid. If you're 25 and you had a kid, you're still a child. Learn to interact with your child and have a handle on them before you take them to a party where I'm going to be, because I'm already at a party with children like you, a 25-year-old, and now you're fucking spouting like little mogwai. I got like you're. I'm gonna mention all of you in my suicide note. I'm gonna go Suspender and Itsy Bitsy Spider, and that's why Hemingway is done with all of you. I'm hanging on for dear life. Like I
don't like, because it's also weird if you meet a baby and the baby doesn't like you, everyone's like, "Oh, what's the fuck's wrong with you?" It's a stupid baby.
I love telling kids to fuck off. Like,
yeah.
It's like fuck you, and then they start liking you. It's like the oldest lesson in the book. Like, okay, so
it does kind of sound like you're trying to fuck the children.
My wife made some pies for a pie party. We took them to the pie party. There was this grubby little girl, this little fucking like urchin, like rolling around in the dirt. And she was like, as people put the pies down on the table, I was watching her. No one else was watching her. She was.
You sound like the wrong side.
I was watching her.
That's the wrong side of the curmudgeon pedophile divide.
When I walked into that party, I saw her.
I noticed her right away.
Now we realize what my problem is. Okay. All right. I surrender. You're right. But she was like digging into the pies with it. It's like, we're going to eat those, you fucking grub. Where are your hipster parents? And like why why they wouldn't let you eat their fucking shit with your grubby gremlin hands? That's my wife's pie, you bitch. And then Erin put her pie down, and one of her fucking 11 awesome pies was like this bacon pie. And the little girl looked at the pie. She was going from pie to pie, like digging into it with her fucking claws.
Really?
Her little hepatitis claws, her little dirt talons that she was just using to play with worms and be like, you're this worm should marry this worm. Okay, now pie time.
Yeah.
And it's like now we're all like, why am I sick? Why am I dying?
Her Ebola paws.
So she's digging. I'm watching her digging each pie.
No one's stopping the kid? No one's
conscious of the kid. I'm the only one because I'm either a curmudgeon or a pedophile. And I watch it. She digs it. She's pie. She's going from pie to pie, and she's like, it's like my dog. She's like maybe it's like off the rim. She's like grabbing little crusts and like in her mouth and her claw in her mouth. And then Erin sets one of her pies down, and it's a bacon pie. And the little girl looks at the pie, and she goes, I don't know. I don't like bacon that much. And I wanted to go, bitch, no one cares what you like.
Yeah.
No one cares what you like, and you're going to spend the next 80 years, if you're lucky, learning that. No one cares what you like. No one. It's you in a fucking vast sea of apathy. You fucking... Like, who put it in your head already at this age? Those are the first words you're learning to form? I'm not sure about this kind of pie. Fuck you. 9/11 should have happened then.
To her?
I didn't say any of that to her. I'm like, okay.
You should have explained to her. She probably doesn't know what 9/11 is. You should have told her.
I'm not engaging her. But then I'm sitting down by the fire in the backyard, which can burn a human being. And then she's like, I wanted to sit there. And then her parents come to the stage and goes, she thinks all the chairs are hers. And I'm like, oh, okay. But in my head, I'm thinking, then take her in a fucking dark corner and set her shit straight. It's a chair by a fire. It's not.
They're sociopaths. Right. Kids are sociopaths.
Stop replicating and partying. I'm going to do it. The world needs more Dan Harmons. I'm going to make them. I'm going to keep them in my ivory tower and teach them to rule over you. I'm going to show them dolls and say, this is what? A normal person, what's your job? Control them. I'm not going to make it your problem. You will meet them at 16 when they emerge cross-legged, floating. And they're like lifting your cars with their magneto powers because...
And they'll come out and they'll be like, I don't like bacon that much. And you're like, fuck! I fucked up!
What did I teach you? All right, one thing quick before we bring out our special guests. I wanted to do. You have your. I had this text exchange with Rob all day. I don't know if this will translate. My friend Rob Schraub, who is a known. Yeah, you're a big fan of his because he's a terrible person. So here's a text exchange I had with him today.
Okay.
You're gonna read Rob's parts.
Okay.
I'll read my own parts.
Okay. Is blue you or is white you?
Blue is me.
Okay.
I don't see color, but. To me, white is everyone.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. You just got to apply yourself.
That's my problem.
Yeah. And later on, we have some lesbian women coming up, but I don't even know that. To me, they're just both white women. I don't know. I don't see sexual preference. I just see that they're beautiful white women. One of them might be Latin. I don't know. Her last name's Esposito.
She doesn't look super Latin.
Yeah, good for her.
All right, so here we go. I'll be Rob Schraub.
Okay, so I get this text from Rob. This is like what it's like to be his friend.
Have you ever seen All That Jazz?
Out of nowhere. Once when I was a kid.
It's a Bob Fosse biopic that Bob Fosse wrote and directed.
Yeah, I vaguely remember it. Roy Scheider dies in the end. I knew it was about Fosse, but I didn't know he had a hand in the movie.
You should make a movie like that.
Good idea.
You should call it All That Jizz.
So if you have fantasies about me, I said,
Yeah, that's a separate text. Is its own text.
I feel like you kind of walked me down a path on that one.
You know, because you like jizz. And jizz is still in caps.
He keeps capitalizing jizz like it's an Addams Family member.
Because those are the only things that are capitalized. You know, because you like jizz.
I think I got it, yeah.
When's the last time you saw Rocky?
This is hours later. I guess when I was younger, I don't know, 20?
You should make a movie like Rocky. But base it off of your life.
Would it be called Cock-E? Would that scan?
Smell butt. What is that? What the
That sounds nothing like Rocky. It has 2 syllables. That's the only similarity.
I wasn't trying to. Is that a requirement?
Well, it's a movie like Rocky, and it's about my life, but the title reflects none of those facts. Nobody looking for the movie will be able to find it, and nobody that comes across the title will know if it's something in which they'd be interested. End of conversation. That's it. Yeah.
He really did. All that jizz was quite a long walk.
Yeah. He really keep fantasizing about being friends with Rob Schraub if you want. All right, why don't we bring out our guests?
Yeah.
They have a new Feral Audio. Is it new Feral Audio podcast? It's a Feral Audio podcast. It's new. Why do you always like new things? It's like that fucking 3-year-old wandering around digging her dirty hands into pies.
You people.
Maybe this has been a podcast for 60 years. It's called Put Your Hands Together. And they're also like recently accidentally virally noted for these BuzzFeed. Is it BuzzFeed videos? Ask a Lesbian. Well, at any rate, welcome Cameron Esposito and Rhea Butcher.
Hello.
Anywhere that makes you comfortable. Are you guys?
Hello.
Are you guys drinking, folks? Do you want to?
Well, we're generally like not drinking folks, which is
Okay.
totally weird for the comedy world.
I know that Rio, we talked about in the green room, is a remarkable breed of vegan or vegetarian,
Just vegetarian.
who
I like
even in the
pizza too
womb,
much.
your mother, even though you're from Akron, Ohio,
Yes.
it's not like you're from like a bubble.
Whoa.
Like you're not from some Google like bubble that, in space, but your mom never ate meat. So even in the womb, your body, your blood, none of it
None.
has ever touched meat,
Not
and you've
at
just
all.
never eaten meat.
Never.
And
Which
look
is
at you.
wild. Yeah.
You're like a foxy Michael J. Fox.
Yes.
Michael J. Foxy.
Yes.
Your is it your Twitter avatar is like you in the like a drawing of somebody made of you in the orange vest?
I think it's my like Tumblr avatar or something. But yeah, it's me as Marty
you're
holding up my
super
phone.
into Back to the Future.
Super into Back to the Future. Just love it a lot. Yeah.
You know what? I watched Teen Wolf 2 days ago,
Yes.
and I hadn't seen it in like 20 years. Teen Wolf, he had Teen Wolf and Back to the Future the same year.
Yes.
Back to the Future was number 1, Teen Wolf was number 2, and he was on Family Ties.
Yes. He was sleeping in his car in between Back to the Future and Family Ties. Because he would go shoot Back to the Future at night, and then he would shoot Family Ties during the day.
Teen Wolf is a terrible movie.
Is it? Does it not hold up?
It's not great.
It's a guy turns into a werewolf and nothing happens. There are.
I believe he's good at basketball.
Yeah.
That's nothing. Just practice. Get good at basketball.
But I remember it being about. So I remember
It's
it
about
being
nothing.
about being yourself, and as opposed to being like falling back on the thing that makes you, I don't know, marketable.
Well, I also think it kind of came out at this time when like the idea that somebody would be very good at sports like wasn't really. This is like a pre-Jordan era where we were like they would have to be a wolf
Yeah. Yeah.
to be good at basketball.
Yeah. If they're
Nobody's
white,
good at
they'd have to
basketball.
be a
Oh,
wolf.
wolf.
Well, I'll tell you something about that movie that really registered with me. I don't like. I'm sure it doesn't hold up. Like I'm informed and inspired by a bunch of crap that I watch it, and it's like this doesn't hold up. But the really impacting thing creatively about Teen Wolf was that they were doing this like traditional garbagey 80s movie. He's a wolf and it's blah blah blah. And then there's that moment, the plot point where he turns into a werewolf on the basketball court, and instead of going left, they go right. It's just like some writer thought, what if he
Yeah.
turned into a werewolf on the basketball court, and then everyone went, Or then he starts dribbling the basketball.
Yeah.
And it's like, if basketball's so fucking important to you, you have to stop the game because I turned into a werewolf, or you got to play basketball against a werewolf. And then they just go right instead of left. And the movie continues along the lines of like, what if being a werewolf was just a metaphor for being like, I don't know what.
Wow, that's a coming out story. I just realized that. That's
in a world where we still needed more movies about it being okay to be something. It was like Teen Wolf was actually a cautionary tale sent from the past to today, maybe, for people going like, hey, lesbian, hey, differently abled person, hey, black person, hey, like don't let your superpower don't forget to just play basketball.
Yeah, when you guys came out, did you guys get really good at basketball?
I got really good at basketball.
I mean, I did get this haircut, which I feel like is probably pretty Teen Wolf informed. Well, I feel like because I watched the movie Frozen last year on a plane, and I was like alone watching this movie, and I just hadn't read anything about it because I don't like to read about movies before I've seen them, and I had no idea that movie is just about a gay person. Like, that movie's about a gay person.
Oh, is she just wants to be left alone, and then
she's just like she's like, I have to hide who I am because my parents don't like me. Also, men are terrible. Like, that's a lot of what she says.
She's super gay.
She's super gay. Yeah. She's like, gotta wear gloves. That's part of being a lesbian.
All the time.
And I was like on a plane, just wanted to like make a friend so I could just be like, this is a gay movie for kids, but I don't talk to people on planes. So
there's a lot of, I think, like Frozen, though, you could interpret that a couple different ways. I never looked at that through a gay lens. I was just like,
I look at everything through a gay lens.
Did you want a gay lens? I've got an extra one.
Yeah, I went to gay lens
Did
crafters.
you bring the gay lens? I want to look at it.
It's on a tool.
Oh my God. Yeah. The A-Team was
the gay team.
Mr. T just wanted to fuck everybody, but he wasn't allowed to. That's not what being gay means.
Yeah.
You guys are too young. You're too young for Back to the Future, even, aren't you? Like, what you like? You seem like a youngster. Maybe it's just the vegetarian in you.
It's the vegetarianism.
She's beautiful.
And the lesbianism.
She's 42.
It's a 1-2 punch. Yeah. It's a fountain of youth.
But the when we were doing the community Christmas episode with the stop motion, we watched all the Rankin Bass stuff, and I was stricken by the really kind of healthy, super by our modern lens, progressive, thinly, properly veiled, pro-gay endorsement that was the elf that just wanted to be, what did he wanted to be a dentist? And he was like, I don't want to be an elf. I want to be a dentist. Like, they say I was born an elf, but I'm not. I was born a dentist. I want to take care of teeth, and I want to do all this stuff. Yeah. And he like did a little dance number. I was looking, I was like, wow, this is like really like we don't have this much craft these days now that we're actually trying to accomplish this.
I mean, I really do. Like, what is Rudolph about? These are all gay stories.
Everything is gay.
Jesus was gay.
Jesus was totally gay.
That's why they killed him.
Yeah.
Buddha was gay. Buddha was just a big gay bear,
What about Muhammad? Say it into the camera.
Don't tell him. Don't tell him.
Say it into the camera.
Why is it always this camera for the...
I don't know.
Straight feed.
Yeah, it's going right to the headquarters.
It's the Kumail cam.
But like, for instance, Back to the Future super holds up. That's a fucking great movie.
Yes, it is.
Teen Wolf is not, and
Yeah.
it reminds you that you were a dumb kid saying you didn't like bacon, but you like Teen Wolf.
Right. Yeah. And I don't want to hear your bullshit because there are people in this audience that'll stick up for Spaceballs, for God's sake, so fuck them. But the truth is...
You just don't like movies with the word space in the title.
The truth is Goonies doesn't even hold up. The sacrosanct, wonderful... Yeah, fuck off. Fuck off. It doesn't hold up. It is not a movie. It is garbage. It's a pile of spaghetti spilled out at your feet, asking you to figure it out. It doesn't make any sense. Nothing. When you set it next to Back to the Future, which is I mean,
be very careful, motherfucker.
That movie, Back to the Future's screenplay took 7 years to write. Like they were writing that for 7 years, and a couple of those years, I think, interviews I've read, Bob Gale was wrestling with what would happen if in the car with the mom at the prom, and you seem like you've probably delved into this stuff and read about this stuff.
Absolutely.
But it was like and at the end of it all, like they realized it took them forever to come up with the simplest thing in the world, which is that the mom kisses the son, and then she goes, I don't like it. It's like kissing my brother.
I'm kissing my brother.
Yeah, and it was like that took years. They were stuck on that for years.
Yeah, I mean, they also wanted him to time travel in a refrigerator.
Yeah.
Which then showed up in Crystal Skull. I'm sure all of you know. But that screenplay is like
good. Keep going.
She's got a lot. It's like the tightest screenplay ever made. There's like not a wasted minute.
Oh, that's interesting.
What?
Because I think you forgot about the movie Alien.
Ugh.
You don't like Alien?
No,
I love
she
Alien.
likes Alien, but like if we're talking
I'm
about
just
tight
gonna debate
screenplays,
you
like
about
not a wasted
screenplays
shot.
on Back to the Future versus
Alien was Alien's a tight screenplay.
Tight screenplay.
Ugh.
At the
Which
end,
one is more fun?
at the end when Sigourney takes off her outfit and she's just wearing a tight screenplay.
That is a tight screenplay.
That's a tight. You can see everything. All the
Acts.
notes. Yeah.
All the acts.
You can see all the acts.
I just keep thinking about all the arguments I have about what movie to watch with Aaron. I want to be a lesbian so bad.
Wait, Dan,
Like you guys are arguing about two different kinds of good movies.
Yes. Hey, when's the last time you saw Burton's Batman? We were just watching it before we came over here.
I can't abide it.
You really?
Garbage.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Garbage.
We were watching it. We couldn't believe that it held up. Actually, I'm going to say something very unpopular, which is that I don't like I don't like Christopher Nolan's movies very much.
Wow.
Because I think he's like really he's just like what is it? What'd you say? I wouldn't say awful. Let's go with a more intelligent analysis. I just think he thinks he's a pretty smart dude, and sometimes he wraps a pretty bow around a nonsense word.
I'll.
So then I was a little disillusioned, and then I went back and we watched Burton's Batman, and I was like, oh, this is like an amazing movie.
I haven't watched it in a while.
I would just
like 5 or 6 years.
No, that's
I'll
pretty
watch
recent.
it again with Aaron. We'll check it out.
There is no way Tim Burton's Batman is better than The Dark Knight.
Well,
I think
we've got a live one here.
Well, I mean,
this is.
it depends on how you want to see your Batman. Like, do you want to see like a whiny guy that can't get his voice to come out right because he's trying to get over an accent, or do you want to see like a dude who's like pretty sweet to Kim Basinger the whole time? He's like never that much of an ass. Like he's just like, I got this whole other thing going on. Yes or no? Like, are you in or out? And then she's like, I'm an adult person that's in control of myself, and also I'm in. And then the Dark Knight's just like, God, my muzzle's so big, I can't stop crying.
I think wait, Rhea, do you disagree with this stuff? Are you a Christian Bale like Batman fan?
Well, I enjoy The Dark Knight, but that's about it.
All right.
Like, I'm definitely more of a Michael Keaton Batman.
I find when I keep watching The Dark Knight over and over again because because it's sort of like it's like a Scorsese movie. It's like I just keep like I just want, and I think that points to like the guy is like a really powerful director, really powerful cinematographer, and most importantly, what you can observe from everything laying around it. Obviously, Heath Ledger is the thing that we're going back to. I think it's that plus the foundation that Christopher Nolan cast over everything. Because I'll even every once in a while I'll be like, did I not get Inception? I'll just kind of be tempted.
And then you're like, oh no, he didn't get Inception.
And it's like every time, like the logical part of my brain, the writer part of my brain goes, this is insipid, this is garbage. But my eyeball part of my brain, which is never stimulated, I'm always like, God damn it, it's so fucking good though.
Absolutely, it's he's making gorgeous things, but the problem is that The Matrix is a great example of making a beautiful movie where they're like, oh, does this also make sense? And I feel like for Christopher Nolan, if he was just like, hey, I'm a gorgeous artist, I make gorgeous stuff.
I should get
and then,
good screenplays
and
shoot them.
yes, exactly. I wish he wasn't always just like, guys, I got to explain why this is so pretty.
By writing it.
I got to go through it.
Get away from the typewriter. That's all it is.
When's the last time you saw... Okay, so then I would say this. Absolutely, Heath Ledger's Joker is great, but we were really also enjoying Nicholson's Joker.
Well,
just because it's like such a stretch for him.
Very funny.
That's why I kind of want to watch it again. Tim Burton, like, he's so theatrical, and everything gets... Like, I get distracted by... I feel like the crooked doorways and the purples and the everything. Like I feel distracted by them. Everything's on a soundstage in a Batman. And that's what I really. I think that when Nolan did Batman, the thrilling thing was that we were in genuine exteriors using locations, and that things felt paramilitary. The cosmetics allowed you to believe in Batman in a visceral way. And whereas, like, I don't like, you can see the dangers of Burton's Batman in what's his name's Batman. I refuse to say his
Schumacher.
name. Yes, he whose name should not be spoken. Like with the purple nipples and the day glow like rave fights and stuff. It's kind of like, well, didn't Burton set you up to do this? Isn't this what you liked? It's like when I watch Burton's Batman, I'm like, yeah, what are we doing? We're like revving this like fish-shaped like roller coaster car through a soundstage and having these acrobats like kickbox each other and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you're totally. I mean, even Burton devolved from Burton in like ways that maybe should have just stay with the scissor hands and less with the.
Yeah, scissor
other
hands.
Things.
Like all right. Let's digress.
I was going to say one thing. Wait, we lived in Chicago at the time, actually, when they filmed The Dark Knight, which is also interesting because that was very much a part. I mean, nothing is. Well, before that, nothing was really filmed there. Now they really encourage filming. But like, did you ever see any?
I remember they would put up signs and they would say that a movie that was being filmed there called First Kiss.
Rory's First Kiss.
Yes,
actually what
that's
it was.
right. And it was Batman.
Yeah, because I
Batman.
actually worked at a screen printing company at the time that was making like the emblems and stuff for the Gotham City Police. So they were making like in a robe for Harvey Dent, which never got made. But yeah, it was all for Rory's First Kiss.
And I worked on the street on LaSalle Street where they filmed the like final charge, and it was all labeled as Rory's First Kiss, but there was like a Gotham City helicopter. So
yeah. All right, so I want to let you guys go because you have a birthday party to go to, and I promise not to keep you. But your I'm not kicking you out yet, but I wanted to announce that because I'm terrible at letting people go. You have a podcast called Put Your Hands Together, which is like it's a stand-up podcast where you can come to see comedian people do comic things. You guys run it together, and you're like hosting it. I haven't like
yes.
You're rapping. Go ahead. Sorry. It felt like you were trying to figure out what a show is.
Well, I'm not sure. They have a
you
podcast,
guys host it?
Is it a
this
podcast, but it's
things?
a stand-up format. I don't know if the stand-ups come and talk about their lives on the thing, and then or if it's a live podcast where you guys are hosting a stand-up show.
It's all very Christopher Nolan.
It's a great question. Yeah, it's a show wrapped in a show. I just spilled so much water in my crotch.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. So much. It's all the way through. But it's every Tuesday night at the UCB, and it's a live stand-up show that runs for 75 minutes, and Rhea and I co-host it, and we do hilarious jokes. And then also stand-ups come and perform, and we didn't think that we took a real risk when we started it 2 years ago because we just said, like, maybe if we do this, stand-ups will let us use their material. And most of them do. Like we say you can have your set cut if you want it, and we can do an interview instead, and that's also fine. And sometimes you just get like a great interview with somebody who's about to go on Conan, and they're like practicing their Conan set. But a lot of it is just like material, which is awesome because there are so many people that don't get a chance to be like. I don't know if LA ever realizes how lucky LA is. Because everybody just lives here, so you can go to a show at the Meltdown or at the UCB, and it's just like, oh, these people are only in like majorly big budgeted films, not like enormously big budget. Like we can't believe it's just like Louis C.K. and not like Louis C.K. writing Jerry Seinfeld. Like what are like this is bullshit. Like we can't believe we're just like not watching Maria Bamford and also Sarah Silverman doing the arms for each other from behind like this. So you're spoiled audiences, but people in Kansas City, they don't get to hear 8 great comics on the same show.
They don't get to hear anything. in
They don't
Kansas
get to hear
City.
anything.
They
got no ears.
in Kansas City.
They got nothing out there.
Missouri and Kansas.
Yeah. Sound-free America.
And the thing that doesn't need to be plugged is these charming, awesome, like mother-friendly Ask a Lesbian. There's this video that's like got billions and zillions of more views than Community has had. Nielsen numbers. Just and we were talking about it in the green room, like, how does that happen? What does that happen? I made a video called Ask a Lesbian, and it's like pretty. There's nothing really shocking in there. It's like, here are the questions for Ask a Lesbian. Is scissoring a thing? Nah, not really.
Hey, I've had this argument so many times. Thank you. It's not a thing. Well, I mean, how
Kumail,
would
you
I
could have
know,
just
but-
called us whenever you had that argument.
I
We will
can't
come
just
and
call
defend
you
you.
and be
Yes,
like,
you can. I'm
"Hey,
giving you the
Cameron,
permission.
Weird question.
Not that it's
Listen,
not.
I honestly want it to be a real thing, but if you think about it scientifically, it doesn't make sense. It's not doing anything for anybody.
Well, now, come
Yes,
on.
agreed.
If you're a lesbian couple and you're out there and you want to scissor with each other, I think also you guys would agree with me. Go ahead. Try it.
I have had women debate me after shows. Like only a couple. There's always like a couple lesbians that are like, I do it and I love it, and I
They're very
don't
aggressive.
believe them because
You've been a lesbian for 3 weeks, lady.
yeah. What are you rubbing?
it's so.
What's going on with your thighs? That
Yeah.
You can get them so.
They always walk
Do you know
up
what I-
to you really uncomfortable. They're like, oh, it's totally a thing.
They got no pants on. They're just real Winnie the Pooh.
bow-legged. Because the things you're trying to get to align are very small
Yeah.
in the grand scheme of things.
And you should just grab them.
Right.
I mean, just grab.
Like before you should rub them together, you
Yeah.
should just grab them.
Grab 'em.
Because gay men,
Yeah.
I doubt even gay men have a big flappy thing coming out. And I bet they spend very little time just rubbing them together.
no, yeah,
And they can do it.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
they could just
yeah.
they could like tap them together, and I
Yeah.
bet they don't a lot.
That's amazing. Well, I think that people are really confused about what lesbian sex looks like because of like lesbian porn. Because lesbian porn is always like it's like 2 women scissoring. They have super long fingernails. A pizza guy comes. He's like, "Do you want me?" And they're like, "Yes." So then and it's all labeled lesbian,
Yeah.
and it's just like very. Even the movie Blue is the Warmest Color has like 27 minutes of scissoring in it.
One question that you kind of sidestepped as a joke in your video. I think it was like one of the first questions is, do you get excited looking at your own boobs? Which is a question I never even thought to ask. No, but you also sidestep it with a joke. You did. Is there an answer to that question? Is that?
I'm gonna guess. No, you don't.
Yeah.
Well, not your own, right?
You're not
Because-
turned on. You're probably like, "Hey, these are great boobs. This is so great that someone else gets to enjoy them, or whatever." I
Yeah.
don't.
You know
Let the lesbians answer.
Go ahead.
Well, what do you want to answer first, and I'll answer second?
Usually I, look in the mirror and give full eye contact to the boobs, and then I'm like, you're doing great, buddy.
Well, I think that. So here's the thing. I mean, what? Don't answer? What? Don't be stressed. It's okay. I'm comfy with my body. Thank you so much for protecting us. Because you were between two men who were like, "What are your boobs like?" So I really appreciate that.
Hey,
but it's
we
okay.
didn't
We're good friends with Kumail, and Dan's a great dude. We're on. It's okay.
I'm curious. What
Consent
could be,
is given.
What could be, I'm curious though about that outburst. What could be gained by not answering? What could possibly be happening? And I don't mean that rhetorically. What could be happening? Are we bullying by asking?
No, I think maybe it's just like, anytime you ask a woman about her bod, there's like a bit of a revelatory thing there. But I mean, to me, I'd just say that no, I don't get super turned on my own bod, but I do think sometimes I'm like, ooh, you looking great in them undies. But,
Real tight screenplay. I've never seen purple screenplays
Yeah.
before.
That's a lacy screenplay.
I think, young lady, whoever felt compelled to be protective like that, I want to be clear about this. I was asking because they made a video, and that was one of the questions in the video. I wasn't like hauling you guys up and like
we got called
Hey,
up here from this.
I
we
hear tell you're
stopped
lesbians. You got
scissoring
some
for
answers
this.
from it. I wanted the answer. It's like the question was asked and answered in this viral video that's been seen by millions of people, and I was like, I wanted to do like a little director's cut of it. It was like,
Yeah.
is there an actual answer to that question? 'Cause I've
I
never
have
heard it before.
I have like an even more personal answer, which is really probably too personal, which is that Rhea has better boobs than I do.
Why are people clapping?
I have great boobs, but I think she's got the better boobs. But that's kind of a cool thing about being a lesbian is you're like, you've got the boobs, and I have a. What do I have?
The money.
Say something.
A beautiful face. A beautiful face.
A beautiful face. I don't know. Say something about I don't know.
You have a great ass.
Thank you, for God's sake.
All right.
What about the hole? I'm sorry, this is disgusting.
The other question.
Did you say, what about the hole?
Yeah.
The other question I had never thought to ask until you guys told me that you just recently got engaged, or you got engaged last year. You're engaged.
Yeah. Thank you.
And I think if you're a straight guy in the audience, you may suppress it because you live in Los Angeles, but there's probably an immediate question of like, who proposed? Like, how do you? That was my first question. I was like, here's a lesbian question: who proposed? And I don't know where joke separates from reality, but I think the answer is you just don't. But the answer from you guys was that Rhea, because she has shorter hair.
Yep. It's easier to kneel down. With shorter hair.
Oh yeah, I can't. No, well, yeah, Rhea proposed, but that was just because. Why was it you and not me? Do you know?
The hair.
Yeah,
No, I don't know.
I feel like I knew that I wanted to be with you, but I was like too shy to do that. And then we went to the top of it. We were in Griffith Park. We were in the top of this beautiful mountain. And I like hiking. Rhea hates hiking. She woke me up early in the morning. Was like, let's go for a hike. And I just like didn't think anything was weird. And also, she didn't tell me to like put on good clothes. So I was
didn't
wearing
think about it.
garbage jean shorts.
I'm very much
and
a
like
dude
a
in that
sun
way.
hat that goes all the way around.
Yeah.
We had water bottles. Rhea
I sat in gum right before
she
I
sat in
proposed.
gums all over her ass, and then a hawk flew by, and then she got down and proposed. But the funny thing about getting proposed to at the top of a mountain is that you never think about like,
well, now we have to go down.
we're just up here. We didn't even have service. We couldn't call anybody. We just had to like, we want to hike back down. And then get clothes on and go to brunch. Like, what do you want to do?
Well, I got to change the laundry.
Yeah.
So.
Had you guys discussed before that you were going to get married, or was it a total surprise? Like a lot of nowadays, I would think a lot of couples are like, "Hey, we're going to get married. Yeah, we'll get married at some point." Like, was it a conversation you guys had?
I think when we moved out here together, that I just figured like as long as Rhea doesn't move back to Chicago, we're getting married. Like that was kind of the thought in my mind. And then,
But had you guys talked about it?
Had we talked about it?
I don't think we did. I think we maybe talked about it and like, I'm going to marry you in
Wife.
that way that people talk about stuff.
That's talking about it. That's,
Yeah.
I mean, that can be the most devastating talking about it there is. Because like we are in moments of passion. We're like, I'm going to marry you. And it's like, oh, shit. I mean, you can't just change your mind about that later. And yet, sometimes it's something you really want to say. All right, well...
One more thing, you know what? She called my dad. I just got to tell you that.
For real?
Yeah.
For real.
I did not have the balls to do that. I did not... My girlfriend's... my wife's... girlfriend at the time, I should have done that.
Well, you
and
got
I didn't do it.
permission?
Yes, I did.
Wow.
I didn't. I'll say this. I didn't need it. He was like, I don't need to give you this, but I really appreciate you talking to me about it first before you did it.
Wow.
Which is the key dad response.
It's a perfect response.
Yeah. But
Who is this dad? Can we get a dad transplant for these folks? I'm sure my dad.
Yeah, I'll
would.
take one too.
Yeah, I'll take it.
He's a tiny Italian crying man, and I just knew that he would need to hear from Rhea, and so I just actually told her that, like, if you ever are thinking about it, you should talk to my dad. Just because, like, not that he is possessive, but just that he would just, like, that would make him happy till the day he died. Like, he just would be like, Rhea, I'm going to die in a second. Please come in here. I have to tell you again how much it meant to me. Like, those will be his last words.
Yeah.
That and I love your mother. That's the other one. It's a very
Oh my
loving
God.
man.
Your mother, not my mother.
No.
That would be a
We're
terrible
sisters.
reveal.
What?
Yeah.
I know you guys are human beings and individuals and not representative of anything and not symbolic and icons, but that makes me want to cry so much. The idea of a dad of giving his blessing, and that makes me like so. I just want to melt into a liberal puddle and like flow into some gutter and just join Obama in heaven and rain down on every country and make everything green and vegan and turn the moon into a rainbow? I don't know. Into a titty. What about your titties? Tell us about your titties? I'm so sorry, lady, whoever's back there. I feel like I hate myself through her eyes. Whoever piped up, don't answer. I'm like, wait, what am I, Jim Belushi?
Yeah.
I didn't do.
No, we're all
Just
friends.
don't answer.
Yeah, it's okay.
Just stay strong. Don't let them hurt you. It's just my podcast. I'm a beta male. I'm almost a lesbian myself. Okay. Well, it was, I don't know. Anything? Oh, your album's doing fine. You probably don't need to plug it. Was it same-sex symbol?
Yeah, it's called Same-Sex Symbol.
Yeah.
It's doing really well, actually. Thank you, guys.
And
That's very
so
nice.
listen to their podcast. Put your hands together. And please thank you, Cameron and Rhea, for coming by.
Thank you, Dan.
Bye, guys. Drive safe.
So good.
I'm bad at saying goodbye, bad at interviewing.
Oh, and I'm going to use this to plug something of mine that Rhea does all the time, which is this podcast called X-Files Files, which is also on Feral.
What are you doing?
I'm just taking a moment to plug this podcast I do. It's called the X-Files Files. Rhea does it all the time.
Should
It's
listen to
just-
that. Should listen to you and your wife talking on the indoor kids.
Oh, yeah, the indoor
Should have your wife come by as a guest. I keep thinking.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
she used to be a couples therapist, and
yeah. Well, she's not. Well, you're not doing a show here next week, so a couple weeks we'll have
But
her.
yeah. All right. Look at these empty seats.
They
Look
were
at this-
delightful, huh?
Look at this limitless potential.
we
we
never
got-
did find out what they thought of each other's hole,
I
which
wish.
they brought up.
I wish we could have gotten to the bottom of lesbianism, as I call it, as a lifestyle choice. What makes you choose it? I forgot to ask them that.
Yeah. Why lesbianism?
Yeah, why not survivalism or doomsday prepping?
Like it's a hobby. Yeah. You know, some people collect stamps, some people are lesbian.
Let's bring somebody out here whose name I kind of changed recently. My wife, Erin McGathy Harmon.
Hello.
Do you get turned on by your boobs?
It was kind of loud backstage. Do I get turned on by my boobs?
Yeah.
No.
It was a callback, and we can move on.
No, it's a complete nonsense.
Maybe I should say yes. Maybe that's sexier. Yeah. They're just so round. And I look at him. I'm like, "That's you." And I'm like, "But they're like candies on hills of."
I often wonder when I get out of the shower and I see myself in the mirror, and I'm just like, what in the world? Who would ever? Why? Like I just
Me,
look like.
you got out of the shower this morning, and I woke up to a naked Dan, and I was like, "Oh!" And I will admit, most of my sexual turn on-ness was from the fact that I knew that you had just taken a shower.
I control the market.
The bar is low.
Yeah, Kumail's got to look like Greg Louganis, and he's got a swimmer's body. And
Yeah. The height of male attractiveness, Greg Louganis.
right, I guess I just popped in my
Greg
head.
Louganis was very sexy,
Yeah,
but
he
mostly
was.
known for having AIDS and being a gay diver.
I would.
I guess I'm more progressive than you guys. I just see him as a fit man.
Yeah, he was just a hot bod to you. So progressive.
Yeah.
I'm definitely on the Tim Burton Batman in that camp.
Okay.
And not mention Danny DeVito as the Penguin. That performance is so amazing.
All right.
Dark Knight, too dark. No one? All right.
And why'd they spell night wrong?
Oh, boy. Rude. It's like it's day and night. I know there's no K.
Can I do my impression of my wife's? This is me at the altar, having spent a day and a half, almost physically nauseous, like retching, like thinking, like I gotta write these vows, and I gotta memorize these vows, and I gotta make these vows right, and I gotta do them good. And then here's my impression of my wife. The officiant goes like, "They've written their own vows. Aaron, you go first." And Aaron goes, well, you know." What? She didn't write her vows. She just improvised them. But she was like, I love you and stuff.
But then she did have a highly choreographed dance and song.
No, she did.
Yeah.
Her
That
love
was
was
my- that
her
was my
love was
vow.
not up for debate. Like yeah, I just thought it was funny. I think actually I came away from it thinking like, you know what? I think the writing of the vows and the memorization of the vows is a thing maybe for the groom, because I am thankful looking back on it that I had something, because otherwise I would have been melting down thinking about the idea that I was getting married, and instead I was melting down like a sixth grader like about to go play Marco Polo in a play. I was like memorizing my lines. I was just pacing back and forth. I had something
Like,
to
who
focus
is this
on.
person? I mean,
I was like,
No one really
to
knows
hold
what
you
he
and to
was
cherish
like.
you. I gotta memorize these things, and it kept me sane during a very crazy
That's
threshold. Yeah.
yeah, I was keeping the secret of that performance. But like right before we got married, when we did our first look photo op, I don't know if you and Emily did that.
No, we went and got married at
50 times.
No, we have been married many times, but we just went to like what's it called? Town hall? What's it called? The square.
City Hall. The square.
Yeah, we went to the square, got married.
The pit.
Yeah, we went down to the mosh pit, got married. Yeah, and then told my parents. So we didn't have like a what's the first look photograph?
They do photographers now because it makes more sense to take pictures before the wedding than after the ceremony. You do a quote unquote first look photograph that's supposed to take place of the photos that you would get when the bride is first walking down the aisle. So it's a very staged thing where Dan's back is to me, and I walk up and they're like, "All right, Dan, turn around," like before the wedding. Here's your bride. And then there are a bunch of people taking pictures of it. But during that, Dan was like, "So are you gonna read your vows? Or are you memorize?" And I was like, "Oh, I
knew I'd forgotten something.
yeah, I have not done that yet." I was very focused on all the other details of the wedding, and I also thought that I was going to be like struck by some inspiration for my vows, which I guess never happened.
I promised to dinosaur you. Like there would be some news item that would come through. Like,
you will be my big elephant. Because we were at the Natural History Museum and there were dinosaurs and elephants everywhere.
the cat that fought off that dog that tried to kill that child.
Yeah.
You can see it right now on YouTube. I
Yeah.
promise to not do that to you, or to do that for you. All right. Anyways, yeah, we got married. It was.
You
fun.
thought you were usual suspects or wedding vows.
Yes. Your vows were great, and it was good also because I had done that other thing, which is basically vows. I sang a karaoke version of "I'll Stand by You" while my bridesmaids did a choreographed dance holding giant cardboard heads of Dan's face.
It was fine. That's good.
Yeah, and at our final rehearsal, Dan was texting me, and I wasn't answering his text because I was singing "I'll Stand by You" and imagining this whole thing, and he got very mad at me because I wasn't returning his text that I could.
It's pretty ironic to not respond to someone because you're too busy singing "I'll Stand by You" for them.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the only thing left to do is to bring up Spencer Crittenden.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That was lovely applause, and it made me feel 8 times more self-estimatious.
This will make you feel self-estimatious. Yeah, Spencer had his hair down at the wedding, and you look like a fucking romance novel cover.
I looked like maybe I might have had a cover to something like 25 years ago or something. Definitely past my prime romance novel coverman. But I also got some interesting text from Rob Schraub earlier today.
Oh, wow.
I did. I missed that. Yeah, I did as well.
Well, I'll almost fill you in because this morning I got a text from Rob Schraub. Oh, I mean this afternoon. Have you seen All That Jazz?
I also got that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
That's so rude. He texted. I thought we were having a moment.
Yeah.
You said no?
No, of course not. That's fucking, no. And then to his response, it's a Bob Fosse biopic that Bob Fosse wrote and directed. To which I responded, is it good? And he said, yeah, Harmon should make a movie like that. He's nothing if not consistent.
And did he go on to tell you?
No, I said you should tell him that, and then he didn't respond.
I'd like to read my text conversation with Rob Schraub.
Yes.
This is crazy. He knew we had the show tonight, so he was like, I will be part of this show now.
Maybe he texted Spencer sincerely.
What
Spencer
time-
said, "Tell
what
Dan,"
time
and then he texted
Compare
me.
times.
What time
compare
did he
times.
text you? What
Mine
time
was 1:17.
Oh, mine was 1:07. Motherfucker!
Oh, damn.
All right,
Dan,
well,
when's yours?
hold on. Let's find this on
Because
the
we can
whole-
piece a whole story together.
Well, can I? I'm gonna read.
This is just
our
like
dialogue.
cereal.
Rob says.
It
Rob
is like
says at
cereal.
1:07
There
p.m.
was no payphone.
Mine was at 12:52 p.m.
Oh.
Is that
damn.
earlier than his?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and
he's
mine is earlier than his. Mine is
Okay.
at 1:07 p.m.
He was
Okay.
just that excited by the idea.
Okay.
Rob texts me, have you ever seen All That Jazz? I say, yeah, but not for a super long time, and maybe not all the way through.
Everyone's responding sincerely, and he's just eating it up.
He's
Rob-
just trying to get to all that jizz.
Rob says it's a Bob Fosse biopic that Bob Fosse wrote and directed. And I said, yep, I'm familiar. And then Rob says, Harmon should make a movie like that. And I said, yeah, I think he could write a really funny musical. And then Rob says, you could call it All That Jizz.
But he never told you all that jizz?
No.
What lines is he drawing? What is he doing?
Because he was last. So by then, maybe...
Spencer was
He was
last?
already strangling her. That's more cereal. Sorry.
What? Oh, that's more cereal.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. Wow.
I'm really confused. This is his new thing.
I feel left out that I didn't get a text asking if I've seen all that jazz.
We can only hope.
I feel embarrassed by how connected I felt to Rob during that
Me too.
conversation. Because I had actually written a text and then deleted it because I was like, this is too much. Where I was like, actually, when I saw Book of Mormon, I thought Dan would write a really great musical. It's so good that you're bringing this up. And we should all encourage him to write a musical.
Yeah, jazz sounds like jizz.
I think his online persona came out of the computer, killed the real Rob, and is now fucking walking around talking to us and eating food and stuff.
It's like virtuosity.
He was at your wedding.
Yeah.
His avatar.
Schraub was at my wedding. He was my best man. And Schraub, as we're about to walk down the aisle, he's still holding the best man's supposed to hold like the rings and stuff. he not only has both like ring boxes, he was holding the bag from the ring store. I've never been married before. I don't know what he's supposed to do, but I know he's doing it wrong. Like he's going like, what do I do? And he's holding a bag from a ring store.
What do
with
I
like
do?
just a
Like
bunch
a
of
kid on a
shit in
field
it.
trip.
I'm like, give me that. Put the rings in your pocket.
We had a rehearsal, but then during the wedding, Rob was like, and here are the, and just like had the two boxes of rings. He's like, I don't know, and
You don't know. It's like, why don't you know?
No,
It's a wedding. You can plan it. You can rehearse it. All
It
right.
was very
did.
charming, very Rob.
Yeah, it was a really great wedding. I had a great time that night. Spencer, you disappeared. I was looking
Yeah,
for you.
you know, anytime I go to a party, I kind of leave early. So I didn't stay too long, but I stayed, you know, as long
Did you
as I
stay
could.
through the vows?
Yeah. Are you fucking kidding me? That'd be monstrous.
Okay, what were the vows?
Dan's came second. They did. And, you know, they were about ghost fighting.
Okay.
And fighting as a ghost. And
Yeah.
I did vow that if I die before Erin, I will protect her with ghost powers. That was one of my many awesomely written vows. And then I would, if it got too weird for her, I would allow her to. I would go away. I would not haunt her second husband. I would just wait for her to die. But then her second husband should fuck off because our love is eternal.
You really killed at our wedding.
Both you guys did.
I was very moved by your vows. Also, like the whole experience of walking down an aisle and seeing all these people you haven't seen in a long time, and also like the bride is like hidden before the wedding, like you don't know who she's gonna be. Like I was hanging up upstairs while you were talking to our friends, so walking down the aisle was like this very weird Wizard of Oz moment.
Yeah,
where, like,
it was
all
so
these-
weird.
And you were there, and that was you.
Yeah.
And,
It didn't really sink. It's like I get to walk around. It's a very.
Well, yeah,
it's-
you hung out. You were like saying hi to people in line. Coming
Yeah, I
in.
get to like chat with people. It's like it seems a little unfair. Like the groom gets to just walk around like, "Yep, get married. Ooh, go see you when I get married."
And
then,
meanwhile,
like-
I was Googling vows. Literally Googling vow ideas.
I thought that one more thing about the wedding, because who cares except us? I thought that I anticipated that I would be unable to say my vows because I thought that would be the height of the emotional point.
But you turned out you didn't give a shit.
No, because I was killing, and I was like, "This is great, I'm killing." No, once I was doing the vows, as far as it was like, wasn't that hard to get through. The peak of the emotion for me was when you were walking down the aisle, and because our friend Matt Gorley was singing Daniel Johnston's "True Love Will Find You in the End," it was like everything was like it was 2-century overload. I don't know. Anyways,
Yeah.
I got it. That was nice. I got it all out of my system. Then I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, it's the worst. and then the rest was like, I killed, as you said. All right.
I have a very obvious question. Do things feel different?
I feel like I'm now. I finally get to nail it because I feel like I was.
We were saving ourselves.
I feel like I was a bad. I was like being a single guy. It's like now I don't know. I feel like this makes more sense. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That resonates with me emotionally.
And also, you want to tell them about the thing that happened in our sleep, even unconsciously.
Sure. Yeah. This week I think, and maybe you can attest to this. How long were you guys engaged before you got married?
We just got married. We went to the pit. We went to the pit and got married and called my parents and were like, "Hey, I'm married. You want to meet my wife?" They said yes, which is great.
That sounds great. I think that like with us, like with this engagement period, and I'll just speak for myself, like everything was like all right, we're playing this football game. He's passing the ball the certain way. I don't know why I wanted to.
Why would you pick
sports, but
football?
I know nothing about football.
Yeah, why would you pick the thing you know nothing about?
A side note, I had 45 seconds today where I thought I really liked soccer.
Was it the only 45 seconds where a goal was scored during a game?
It was this moment when
Shakira singing.
and I love Shakira. The world soccer or world football was on, and the teams are all soft drinks. And one guy.
This sounds like a dream you had.
And my dad was naked from the waist down. They were playing.
That's your go-to for what your dreams are like?
Because it's okay, because it was a dream,
Yep.
but it's also upsetting. I actually do have a lot of dreams where my dad's like Donald Duck. Anywho.
Anywho.
No. Rest of the night. Rest of the night is questions and
Do you
answers.
not have those dreams where like someone...
Where my dad's dick is no. But
I've never
that's
dreamt
fine.
of my dad's dick.
Oh.
I've only Sorry. Go ahead. I'm
well,
sorry.
Goblin Allah approves.
I had a dream that Michael Jordan was trying to kill me. Go ahead though.
It's not important, but there were... I turned on the television and soccer was on. And the ball was going so fast, and then someone they kicked the ball, and then they pretend to be hurt all the time, and this guy just fell back on his back, and I was like, oh, and then everybody on his team was like, oh no, and I was like, this is really
great.
interesting and crazy. But then for then the next 30 seconds, I was like, no. Boring.
I will say this, to go back to an earlier question you had. We got married, and then she was like, well, I never got proposed to. And so randomly, a couple years later, I proposed to her after we'd been married.
Was it good? What did you do for your proposal?
We were in Montauk. We were we were just staying at a hotel vacation that weekend. And it was at night, and we were playing video games. And I was like, hey, let's go for a walk at the beach. And she's like, it's kind of cold. And I was like, no, let's go for a walk on the fucking beach. And so I forced her out, and it was kind of cold. And then I was like, will you marry me? And she was like, yeah. Can we go back inside?
Yeah, I heard you did, bro. Come on.
There was a horrifying crab there when we were. It was the worst thing I've ever seen.
Size or just ugly
It was
crab?
ugly and big and like sideways walking. Like it was a nightmare thing.
It was the crab of your new life together. It will not always look pretty, but it will be efficient and protected.
And it has a shell.
Walk
Yeah.
sideways.
Yeah.
I was talking, Aaron, about. I'm telling you, tell them the story, because if I tell it, it's not fun. About what I apparently
sleeping.
did in my sleep.
Right. So this last week, a few nights ago, I was leading up to just saying that like during the engagement, being married feels less stressful to me. Like it feels like, oh, cool. Yeah, we bought the house and now here we are. And
No way out. Fuck
it's
it.
falling apart, but made my bed.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Lock and load.
Lock and load. Anyway, a few nights ago, Dan talks in his sleep pretty frequently, and a few nights ago was farting in his sleep. And there were...
Because, and I'll just help tee this up. Because
you are a noble knight. I think everyone knows why people fart, but explain.
But more so for me, because as the wedding approached, there was a certain point where I was like, I'm not going to lose any more weight by our wedding. I'm going to look like a fat piece of shit in our photos. So I just started eating a lot of ice cream. And I think I may be lactose intolerant.
When did you eat ice cream?
Every day for the...
What?
She lost 30 pounds in 30 days, and at some point I was like, fuck it.
Where Spencer, was he having you get ice cream?
Well, not ice cream, but
Just
various
peanut
things.
butter and just anything on a corn cob butter shower. I would have a shower brought in with butter
a lot.
in it. It doesn't. I was. So I
I'm
was
not mad about you eating ice cream. It's just hilarious. Based on like you're coming home and me saying, "Oh, I really worked hard today." You're like, "Cool, cool, cool. Me too, yeah."
I never said me too. I just was like, cool.
But meanwhile, you were eating ice cream. Ice cream, the horror of foods.
So this is why you were farting in your sleep.
So Dan
That
has
tracks.
farted in his sleep before, and has woken himself up, and sometimes has. There have been a couple occasions where he's farted in his sleep and then turned over and been like, "What? What? Come on. Let's pull it together." Not an exaggeration. In his sleep, he talks to me like I'm his second mate on a submarine, and I am getting water in the boat. And he's like, "Let's be professional."
Water in the boat.
Yeah. But a few nights ago, Dan, I think the most, I'm going to say majestic, but not in a way that I think is, the grossest, the most like triumphant beginning of a symphony by Beethoven that's all horns fart happened for a very long comical time. I was awake and Dan was asleep, and it was absurd. There were highs and lows. There were like emotional, like, oh God, will they? Oh, okay, good, they're safe in this fart. And I knew that Dan was going to wake up.
That fart sounds like it had more plot than Teen Wolf.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, it was a Steel Magnolias fart. At the end of it, I was just looking at him because I knew he would wake up, and he didn't open his eyes and just said, "Husband." And that is that story.
If I told that story, it would be like, what are you bragging about? No.
Husband.
I'm assuming that was shame-based. Like I was like, I don't know. Like maybe in my dream I was looking at myself farting and was like yelling at myself.
Yeah, you had a great tag to that fart.
Yeah.
You lost 30 pounds in 30 days? That's crazy.
Kind of, yeah. I'm
What did
keeping them a secret somewhere.
What did you do?
I did a like doctor prescribed. It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess
You don't have to
worked
talk
out.
about it. I was just curious.
No, it's fine. I ate a bunch of tapeworms and then stared at pictures of Rebecca Gayheart from 1995 because that's what they had. No, I went to a doctor and was prescribed this diet, which is basically 500 calories a day.
What?
Yeah.
It's
like-
starvation.
That's
You
one
don't have to
meal.
do it, women. It's not. You don't have to. I loved her and never asked for any of this, and got fat to inspire her, hoping she would catch on. We're getting married.
I
We can
mean,
be fatter than ever.
A lot of it was like, that diet sounds crazy. No one could ever do that. I should see if I could do that. So, yeah, I think technically I lost. Because I was losing weight because I was exercising a lot before the doctor prescribed. The smattering of applause in this room is very confusing.
There's so many
sounds like
factions of
teens.
people. There's the lady that thinks that if I talk to lesbians about their boobs, like the prisoner is happening, and then that. But she's quiet while you're talking about losing 30 pounds. The exercise freaks in the back. Exercise is the way to go.
I think also 30 pounds sounds like a lot. I'm 5'10", so like 30 pounds on me like isn't as
30 pounds
crazy.
is a lot. 500 calories a day? What did you eat? Like, what did it look? Can I ask? I don't know if this is interesting.
Yeah,
I'm so curious.
I didn't do it for the full time, but like my day was an apple, and then like a half a chicken breast and vegetables. The main thing was like having no additives and no fat was kind of the thing.
You weren't allowed to wear oil-based makeup, like the doctor that prescribed it. Like, it was a whole
Also,
thing.
the doctor who prescribed it sounded exactly like Werner Herzog, which was terrifying.
This is not something to take lightly. I will give you this cautiously. You will look good, but at what cost?
I was into it because over the last year, I've put on weight that I didn't want, which is usually the case. I just wanted to lose it quickly.
But no matter what you're shaped like, you're a beautiful human being, and you shouldn't let people convince you, or worse, yourself convince you that the fact that you look how you look. Okay, wait, did I get her back?
Yeah! You got her back!
Your body does not define you. Am I getting this right? I know. It's like I see pictures of myself and I'm skinny or fat, and I'm like, why the fuck did I wasn't happy back then either. The shape of your body is a lot like money. Like, you'd be surprised how miserable you can be looking really good, and how happy you can be being really fat. And like, it's not like, well, however you look is how you look. It's how you want to look. You look that way because you want to look that way.
I was over my threshold of feeling comfortable.
We both get there, but
Listen,
you and I are gonna be like, we're gonna take a journey together where we're like, we're gonna. I mean, our favorite pastime is never gonna be hiking. Like we may. I'm not ruling it out, but you and I are at our best when we are watching like a movie, and there's probably some ice cream involved, and like I don't want to I don't want to hinge our happiness on how we look. I want us to be happy, and it's a roller coaster,
Yeah. Well, it's just I think from where you're sitting, like this diet that I did. Also, I did not lose 20 or 30 pounds on the diet. It was less than that.
You told me at one point that you lost 30
I
pounds.
did.
I was
at
going
a
by
certain
you.
point. Yeah. I just mean like where I'm at now. But I was talking about like when I had started exercising really hard. The thing is, like, for like 2 months I was exercising so much, and I just lost. I didn't lose a lot of weight, and then I went to Werner Herzog, and he said, "You are healthy enough for this
If you
diet."
want to make this commitment, there is an agreement you must make.
He gave me a physical, and during the physical, which was terrifying, I kept on asking him, which I've never done with a doctor before, like, is this safe?
Safe. It is a strange word. Capable of so much damage.
I will not play the recording of
Nazi
you.
Germany was safe for the Nazis. This penguin's stomach is safe not for herring, but for the penguin.
He did say several times, "Oh, so tall."
That does sound like a Nazi. So tall?
Your skeleton,
so fair.
so elongated, so fireplace mantle worthy. What?
I was asking just because I stress a lot about what I eat, and I like feel bad about if I don't eat well, and it's been like this since I was probably 14. Like, I've worried about how much I weigh, since then till today, all the time.
Were
every
your
day.
parents stressed out about your?
No, they don't. No, they didn't care, which is good. They shouldn't.
Where
But
do you think that came from when you were 14?
I don't know, but I remember eating fried chicken once and being like, I am so horrible. And it's still like that. Like, and I love eating, right? So if I eat something bad, I feel really, really horrible about it. And then it's like, and it's just me. It's on myself. Like, it's not, nobody else has put any of this pressure on me. But
We all get Most
I
people
heard a
have food
story.
issues.
I can't remember who it was.
Right.
It was like some writer or something that mentioned running into you, and they were like, "Yeah, I ran into Kumail, and I was talking to him for a while, but he was like coming out of the gym, and I was really distracted by his immense upper body."
Yeah, you look great.
That's the nicest thing I've ever
Like,
heard.
like
Thank you.
you were just talking to him like, "Oh, it's so good to see you." Oh, I'm good. All right. We'll deal with that in a second.
Okay, bit from
I
column
try-
A, bit from column B.
I tried to launch into my Kumail. I can't talk like Kumail. Okay. I always have to go to the word cunt. I can't do that. I can't. Can you talk like Kumail? I can't.
You are.
They were distracted by how overwhelmingly powerful and sexy your body was, and
Yeah, I
they
think-
walked away from it affected and disturbed.
That's the effect I'm going for.
There was one day when you came to Nerd Melt, I think before a Harmontown show, where everyone was like, "Whoa!"
What?
Were you just like?
You're fine.
No. I know
you
I'm
just
fine. But it's just it doesn't. It's
I
just
think people
myself.
don't really. Yeah, people don't. We think about these things. We think about ourselves, and I'm not good enough, and we don't. With our friends, I think we don't tend to say like, well, Kumail could really beef up. a
No,
little
nobody
bit.
cares.
No,
Nobody
but
cares
then when
but
you
yourself.
come in and your arms are large and you've got that neon muscle tee. And
Married.
Neon muscle tee.
Then there's a moment where I was
Husband.
like, wow.
Spencer, how do you feel about your body?
Oh, it's terrible. It's just it's a real train wreck over here. I get up and I survey the damage, and I'm like, well, we better get to work. But not to work fixing it, to work doing my job. And then I get home from work and I'm tired.
I wonder how to tell people. I know for sure that people in the world are supposed to they're supposed to hold themselves to a different standard than they're holding themselves physically, for sure. But at the same time, there's also a total acknowledgement of the fact that we're a disgusting nation, that kind of like we are definitely like we should keep ourselves healthy and stuff. That's a totally different thing from being sexy. Like our standards of like what we look like and whether or not we're beautiful people, like is totally different from whether or not you are happy in yourself and like whether you feel good. And it's hard to. I know
Right.
I'm never like I think I'm just generally obsessed with it. I'm just always conscious of like I look like a piece of shit. I'm a piece of shit. I'm a piece of garbage. I'm a piece of shit. But then there's like moments where I'm like, oh, I really look like a piece of shit. Ah, look at that. I look like a piece of shit. I don't know. It's never healthy. It's never comes from a good place. And it's never like,
body dysmorphia. What's up?
yeah.
Yeah. With the me losing weight, it wasn't even. It really wasn't even related to the wedding. It just seemed like a good time to do it, and I totally agree with you. And I'm not aspiring to be like super thin, because I don't think I'm comfortable super thin. I just wanted to feel like I don't know, like myself again, like a sexy piece of shit.
All right. Yeah, we did it. That's what we are. Two sexy pieces of shit. We got married. Together forever. All right. Spencer, what do you think?
What do I think
I never
about
know what's
what?
going on with you D&D wise anymore.
I just, I don't know what you're saying, man. I don't know what you're trying to allege here. It's a lot to process.
Do you want to play D&D?
I always want to play D&D. Should I get it out like
Yep,
I am?
Get it out.
I am.
Spencer got, for the best man gift, I guess it's a tradition, you get your best man a gift. I got Rob a Segway, because he's directing a lot of Community episodes, so I got him a Segway so he could roll around the lot. And Spencer took a day and he made it look like Scud, the disposable assassin.
Aww.
So Rob has like a little yellow robot thing. Now he can like roll around and write us all weird texts about.
So Rob's resting face is a Segway face.
What do you mean?
No, I expected everyone on stage to be like, yes, yes. No, I mean like Rob's resting face.
Oh
that,
yeah,
like,
he's got Segway. Yeah.
Yeah.
He always looks like he's on a Segway.
yeah.
The only
just
thing
like
that's been
presumptuous, but like I know this is stupid, but
Yeah.
I'm-
Slightly judgmental, better than
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
That's
to me,
right.
Rob Schraub always looks like he's reacting to someone unseen who's disapproving of him. So that's almost the complete opposite of what you guys are talking about. Like he's just always like he's shaking his head like someone.
No,
Anytime
I'm
he walks
saying it's
into a
defensive.
room,
Like that Segway face is defensive. It's
Oh.
like I know that you've attacked me, and I'm going to stand by my
Segway.
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 So I was so jealous of his because I rode around on his. I got my own.
You guys were racing it. It was
So
So I don't have a
Segways.
car, but I have a Segway.
Segways are awesome. I've ridden one once and I had a great time.
Do you write it on a tour?
Yeah, kind of. I was in Miami, the worst place in America. No one who's been there can disagree with me.
But they have all those shootings and all those clubs.
Yeah, I mean it's got a lot going for it.
Segways are like rolling luggage to me. It's the thing that on paper it's like this is perfect. This is what everyone needs. But then you look at it and you're like, I can't.
Wait,
I can't cross
what's your
that
issue with
threshold.
rolling luggage.
It's just like you look at it and you're like, I can't cross that threshold.
What is it like when you look at it?
You're just like, I mean, you know, you see something and it's like a fanny pack. You know, you just look at it and you're like, It's like you get it completely, but you're not going there. You know?
You sound like Margaret Cho. I'm not going there.
Well, she's not. It's a fanny pack.
I agree with you. Walk
On
around.
The witch. Yeah, well, I mean, I walk around, sure.
Yeah.
I love it.
I've traveled with you. You
And I
seem
walk a lot.
Yeah, you do. We all do. You seem uncomfortable when you're carrying your bag. Dan also has a thing against rolling luggage. I have a
She
bag
got
that
me
I
a
call
bag.
360.
You got me a bag that has it's a
It's
duffel
hidden-
bag, and then
hidden rolling,
it
yeah.
transforms into a rolly, and I slowly started just rolling with it.
Why don't you like rolling luggage?
Same as Spencer.
Yeah, I mean,
I
you-
looked at it and I was like,
Yeah. That's the
You're not going to cross that
only
threshold.
way to describe it. Like,
but it
you
know,
get it.
But that
He
makes
gets
you
it.
like the cool kid in high school that makes fun of the kid with the rolling bag. You're
Yeah,
like,
because
"Come on,
those
asshole,
kids
just
were
put it-"
fucking lame. That's what it comes from. Like, you see those kids and you kick their backpacks because it's like, fuck you.
But in your mid-20s, why not be comfortable?
You
why
don't
not have a bag?
well, that's
that-
why I don't kick them anymore. I just don't. I don't partake.
When you travel on a plane, you have to have rolling luggage. You
You
should
do not. You do not.
It really makes your life so much easier.
Agreed.
Well, I don't know if that's true. I mean, it makes your life easier during certain specific stretches, but then you're exchanging that for like the.
When you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're just.
No, it's just
Hey.
like sometimes like I.
No, it's fun. Also, like if you're going down a ramp, you can let it go, and you can be like, "Who's gonna get there first?"
You can play the Who's Gonna Get There First game. You know, that fun airport game.
Thanks for making new character sheets.
Oh,
Looks like
yeah.
you are committed to this.
What? What is that? Yeah. Thank you. That's a nice compliment.
You're welcome.
I just figured out how to react to that just then.
I think if you could travel with just a backpack, you'd be the ultimate person, which is what I try to do. If I'm going to Miami for the weekend, I'll just put a couple underwear in a backpack. And then I'm just like, they
You
go,
don't need
are
a-
you checking out? I'm like, what is anyone talking to me about anything for? I got my
Got a
shit on my
backpack.
back. No one can fuck with me, ever.
Then you say to your partner, like, "Where's the toothbrush? And where's the plastic? And where's my underwear?" And
Those
where
all
are the-"
fit in a backpack, though. I mean, it's like pants that don't fit in a backpack.
And I don't talk like that. And you married me. And if that's how that you married a monster, and that makes you worse than a monster. You're like the Rancor keeper in Return of the Jedi. Like the Rancor.
It was a Grover. It was a Grover voice.
I needed to backpedal a sec. What happened to my character? Why is Elmo so popular? Elmo's a baby.
Elmo's a baby.
He's certainly not intelligent. He has a lot of problems understanding very basic concepts, I've noticed.
Elmo's character is a baby, like literally a baby.
Yeah, I know. That explains why he's so dumb.
Does this show have any value for anybody anymore? It's like, it used to be like, well, it was a learning show for kids, and it differentiated with like the existing class system because the kids lived on a street, Sesame Street. The idea was that it was a street, and like it was like brownstone steps and stuff. It was like, oh, guess what? This is where you live. It was multi-ethnic, and it was like revolutionary, teaching you to read. Cut to Elmo. That's some bullshit. That show got caucasized. I'll tell you that.
What?
Turned into bullshit.
Caucasized?
Yeah. I'll figure it out later. I'll write a blog about it. I'll hashtag it.
What does caucasized mean?
Look it up.
Like it's like whitewash.
Don't look it up. I made it up. It means
Whitewash.
I made it up.
Did you grow up with Sesame Street, Kumail?
Nope.
See? He's fine.
Yeah, we didn't get Sesame Street.
Did you have an equivalent? Was there like an educational Pakistani show that was?
No, but there was a guy who would teach you how to draw. And
Who lived next door?
yeah, I mean, yeah, he lived next door. I'd go over to his house, teach me how to draw. My parents hated him. No, before I went to school every day, they would show one cartoon, which was like Tom and Jerry or something, and there would be a guy who would teach you how to draw, and he would pronounce the colors wrong. Like instead of yellow, he would call it yulo. He'd be like, so, and then kids would send in drawings, and he would just fucking rip them apart.
Why?
That was on Sesame Street.
Why haven't we been talking about this for 6 years? What are you talking?
Like what were his critiques of the kids' drawing?
Like very high level, like he was talking earlier. He's like, but there's no balance, there's no perspective. The colors are all over the place. And it's like a 5-year-old drew it, sent it in. And he's like, and this Yulo over here makes no sense.
That sounds so good.
So I would watch it, and I loved watching it. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a cartoonist, but I was never good at it. And I'll tell you, the day I quit, there was a girl I had a crush on. This was the 5th grade. And so the art teachers really liked me. And it was like, if your drawing got an A, they would post it up outside the classroom. And I would always get an A because I was a good kid, but I couldn't draw. So it would be all these beautiful drawings and then one hideous one. And everyone was like, why is that there? Oh, it's Kumail. He's a good kid. But one time, we had to draw our own hand. And I couldn't get it right. I erased it, and I drew it, and I erased it, and I drew it. And then finally, at the end of class, I went up to my teacher to show it. Like, is this good? And it was her and Sana Raza, the girl I had a crush on in 5th grade. And they both looked at this drawing, and they laughed, and then they caught themselves. Like, they felt really bad for it. They were like, ha ha, oh. They felt really, really horrible. And that was the day I never spoke to Sana Raza again, and I decided I wouldn't be an artist. I was really bad. It's good.
Yeah.
Sanara was her name? What was her name?
Sana
Raza.
Raza.
You were born with a stencil.
What do you mean?
I mean, on your body.
She's still giving you shit for not drawing a hand right all these years later. She's like, why couldn't you just draw a good hand?
Don't Sana Raza me. I would. I was just bad at it. I had a comic strip I would draw called Mr. Karate.
Yeah, I was wondering what your main. Could you explain the hero of that?
Mr. Karate?
Yeah.
He was a guy, he knew karate. He had no choice. His name was Mr. Karate. And he had a little radio, and he would go and then kick people's asses.
He had a little radio.
Why did he have a radio?
He would
To
tune
listen
into
for crimes?
Yeah, police scanner.
Oh, it's a 2-way radio.
It was I just knew I could draw a box, so the radio was a box. and I could draw this one guy in profile. So his fights were always in profile. And I would draw a bandana. And
Who were the villains?
just, it's like thieves and stuff. Nothing too high level.
How old were you when you were drawing Mr. Karate?
I probably quit. I was probably like 11 or something, 12. Too old, I think, to have dreams. Anyway, I still can't draw. All I can draw is a Ninja Turtle.
Oh, yeah.
I can draw Inspector Gadget, Pac-Man, and Garfield.
I could do Pac-Man.
Not like I can.
I bet not.
We're talking circles.
Yeah,
Well,
circles.
Pac-Man the cartoon. Never mind. It's not important.
Oh.
All right, we have 5 minutes.
Yeah, well...
Oh, well, we started 15 minutes late, so we really have 20 minutes.
Oh, shit.
Well, if you go by that, I mean, these people have been waiting their whole lives for tonight, so we have 23 years.
Is that when they're dying? Oh, no, that's when they were born. Sorry, math is no good. Let's get it started, right?
Right. Are we getting the musical music?
Ooh,
Sounds like
shit.
Atmospheric.
Wow, this must be great as a video podcast. Oh, fuck. Oh. Man, I want to come to harmontown.com/live every week in January for a nominal fee to pay for the servers. Of course, the audio podcast will always be free.
But with the video podcast, do you feel
Alive. Open your mind. Feel yourself slip. You no longer crave cigarettes or sauces.
Cigarettes and sauces.
highly addictive sauces are no longer a part of your life? Visualize Kumail in your living room.
I'm going to stand up for myself at work tomorrow. People are going to remember my name. You ever hear those tapes and they just make you want to kill yourself? Because you're like, holy shit, this could be an ambition? I'm going to affect people? Oh,
People
God.
can see you.
Oh, shit.
All
All right, here we go. People know who you are. I have a right to breathe.
You may, Dungeon Master.
I mean, that's so much better, isn't it? See? This is just going to be a bummer. When we last met, our heroes had just returned from underground, finding themselves in an overgrown tomb. After teaming up with a ghost named Lil Baskins, the gang trekked underground in pitch darkness along the Ghostway, and then slaughtered a pair of rhinoceri for their pelts. But after exiting the Ghostway, our gang was waylaid by a shoddily constructed ambush. Two gnolls, swearing vengeance for their fallen packmate, summoned skeletons and began to attack, but dignity quickly stymied the onslaught with some well-placed diplomacy. After talking down the furry monsters, Sharpie got to the bottom of their pain, and after a fierce negotiation, sold an ancient and priceless artifact to the gnolls for 9,000 gold. The gnolls slipped away with the mystical artifact, leaving our heroes alone in the cold. But where would they go? What would they do? And how would they keep from freezing to death? Find out now on an all-new Harmontown.
Oh. I examine my surroundings.
I can examine my surroundings.
You are allowed to examine your surroundings.
It's true, it's true. You stand in a small graveyard in the woods. Vines and kudzu coat the gravestones and overtake the gates and walls of the graveyard. Past the trees in the forest to the north are the bone-white faces of the northern mountains. The cold cuts through your rags like nothing, stripping warmth from your flesh like the chill of the grave. It's freezing. Darkness is falling.
We have our cloaks of resistance of all that crap, right?
Yeah, but they're not seeming to feel this cold. This is colder cold than you've ever killed.
Ooh, little Baskins, us of the living find it so much colder out here than you.
Yeah, that's why earlier I was like, y'all should get some pelts and shit, yo.
Well, I guess we'll warm ourselves by the glow of your I told you so.
Good luck.
Thanks, though. Really helps.
I mean, it's just almost as if I anticipated this might happen and wanted to warn against,
No, we got the It's an I told you so. It's
Yeah.
Just keep tasting it.
trying to help.
Not anymore, you're
No,
not.
not anymore. You're trying to.
I
You're
can't-
doing the Cabbage Patch on the end zone of our deaths.
But I told you so, right?
Yeah. Now we're dying.
Little Baskins, why is it so cold?
Because it's the north. I
Sorry?
don't know. It's the north.
Why did you know it was going to be cold? Just because it was...
Well, I'm a guide. I should know stuff like that. If there's going to be traffic or...
Can you guide us to a less cold place?
Well, not if the place you're going that I'm guiding you to is in a colder place. No.
Okay, where can we get pelts? Like, is there a place we can go to get pelts? Is this going to kill us this cold?
It will eventually.
Okay.
I mean, it'll get colder even.
Okay, great. Is there a place we can get pelts before we move on? What can we do?
I don't know. I mean, you could probably find someone who's selling pelts, maybe, if there's any local, furriers. Or you could hunt them yourself. I mean, there's animals. They exist.
We should go hunting.
Yeah, let's go hunting.
All right.
Are you wearing a pelt? I'm sorry, I can't see.
Nah, I'm a dead ghost.
That's the worst
Right.
kind.
Got it.
All right. Hunting montage.
What kind of animals are about?
Just squirrels and woodland creatures.
It's gonna take a
Right,
lot
little
of fucking
Baskins.
animals.
Are there woodland creatures such as bears?
They're hibernating at this time of year, really.
Oh, we could get them while they sleep.
That's very true.
Is there can we head towards a cave where we know there are bears sleeping?
I don't think. No, you don't just know if caves nearby with bears sleeping in them that exist. You can try and look for such a cave, I suppose.
I thought you were a guide.
I'm a guide. I'm not a cave spelunker.
We gotta find a cave and build a fire and just live our life and possibly repopulate society. Wait, we have to form a new alphabet, a new history.
I'm on board. We can have a new religion.
I have a
right?
ring of thick skin. I'm assuming that's nothing.
No,
to
you
do.
don't.
He might. If you do, it just increases your armor class.
Okay, that's what I figured.
I have an amulet of autumn. I can't make warm. with
Well,
it.
it currently is autumn, so you could just make it now.
Avenger,
Hey,
fly into the winter sky and see if you can spy a cavern, an opening. We're looking for shelter.
Cave.
all right, let's do it. He does that, and he goes around in the air, and what he sees is a cave. He comes down and tells you, oh, man, the trees, they stop. There's this cave where they stop.
Fucking great. Let's go to the cave. What do you guys think?
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's
yeah.
do it.
All right, we're going to the cave.
He points in a direction. And
With his little
Little
claw
wing.
How does he
or
point?
his wing? Does he
How does
point
he-
with his wing or his
his
claw?
wing, yeah.
Oh,
with his wing.
That is very cute.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
Aww.
I take a mental picture.
Can he give a thumbs up with his wing?
No, he doesn't have thumbs.
Avenger, point over at that tree over there.
He does so.
Aww.
Avenger, point at Krista Berg.
He does so.
I feel special. I get him to point at you. It feels great. Hey, Avenger. Point at Sharpie. Butts a lot.
He does so.
Oh. He gets better
You're
every
a little
time.
guy.
I mean, familiars are generally animals that are much more intelligent than their mundane counterparts.
He said that familiars are I'll tell you later. Let's head to that cave, and so we don't freeze to death.
Okay, you do that. You get to the cave. It's a small, almost imperceptible, deeper crack in a large rock. You don't even know how Avenger could have seen it from up there. His eyes are so keen, I suppose. But it's just a crack in the woods.
Everybody hang back for a second. I'm going to mage light this shit. I mage light a rock and throw it into the cave. Can I do that like a road flare?
Yeah, you do that, and you throw it into the cave, and it illuminates a larger space within that kind of takes a turn to the right.
Hello? I'll handle this.
You don't hear a response.
All right.
Let's go in.
Let's go in.
We'll go in. We all go in.
All right. You all go in, and what you see is bears. You just see you see two bears. They're nestled in dirt and grime.
Just
I
two?
did my
Two
best.
Yeah, you see her stone off, maybe a couple feet away from them, and it's just kind of lurking. The bear starts stirring. One of them does.
All right.
Are we gonna kill these bears?
I guess we have.
Yeah.
I feel bad.
For goodness.
I feel
I take
bad.
my sword.
Mm-hmm.
Are their necks near each other?
No.
You want to do one swipe? Two bear heads.
No, they're kind of like sleeping past each other, like they're head to foot of each other.
Oh, they're 69ing.
Yeah, sure. It's more like 11ing.
Scissor? Are they scissoring?
No, that'd be.
That's not a thing.
I don't know what
Bears
number
don't
that would
scissor.
All right, so I'm going to.
You have to be careful to get the whole head off in one because it can't make any sound. Otherwise, it's gonna wake the other one up.
be.
You know the old expression, let sleeping beheaded bears lie. Don't
For
make
no time at all.
Yeah,
Or
don't-
they'll wake each other
and
up.
behead them quickly and silently, or they'll wake up.
I don't know why it's a saying. It's not catchy at all. It kind of tapers off.
I'm going to, with my rope.
Oh
For,
no! I think you just cut the head off with the sword.
Well, I'm just thinking that if I tie their necks together, I can prevent against the other one.
But once you
Jumping
cut the
out.
one's head off, it's free again because you see what I'm saying?
No, but if I tie both of their necks down while they're sleeping to rocks.
But why don't you just kill them?
It makes sense. But I will take. Can I cut with two hands?
Wait,
How
what?
ambidextrous am I?
I mean, not super ambidextrous.
You're
no.
going for both at the same time? I feel like this is folly.
Well, yeah. If you're
All right, so
going
maybe
for,
one
they're
of
too
you
far
is a-
away.
Okay.
Like the way their necks are positioned, you'd have to be really stretching in both directions.
Okay,
All
well,
right, so
how
I'm
about
going
this?
to I'm going to go to the more Walter Matthau looking one.
I'll go to the Jack Lemmon.
Great.
I'll take the carrot top. Is there a carrot top bear? Let's each take a
Also,
bear.
did those three perform
Is there a
together, or
carrot
is
top
there-
bear?
No, there's not any bears that remind you
Wait,
of historical
Why
figures.
don't you,
Like carrot
Carrot
top.
Top.
Sharpie? Why don't you just be ready in case
Historical
something
figures
happens?
like
Let's
carrot
each take a
top.
bear. How many bears are there?
There are two bears.
There's two bears. Okay, all right. I'll supervise. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't hear there were two bears. I
Don't
thought-
supervise. You're going to security guard.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So I go to the grumpier looking bear.
All right.
I'm going to hold up my sword, Chris, do you want to?
Yeah, I mean, I have a short bow, I have a ribbon dagger, I have a poison dagger. What do I use? I should use a poison dagger and just cut the head off.
Yeah. Or in his eye?
No! Why?
Into his brain?
All right, maybe. What do you think? What do you think, Sharpie? You're supervising this.
I think these bears are gonna die! And I cast bear light.
No! Don't wake him up!
What are you doing? We don't want to wake him
Don't
up.
wake him up!
You cast bear light?
Why are you waking him up?
It's a light only
What is
detectable
bear
by
light?
bears.
Why?
It wakes them up.
Do that?
Why?
I'm kidding. It's a mage bit. I won't wake up these bears. I'm kidding. You guys should have seen your faces. Just kill the bears. Just kill them. Kill them with
All
your
right.
edged weapons.
All right, so I got my poison dagger at the bear's throat, and she's got her sword at the bear's throat.
Yeah.
You count to
One.
3.
Yeah.
Okay. No,
well,
you,
their throats are like on the ground.
yeah, we're down
Yeah.
by the.
No, like up against the ground. Like you can't have you can't have your blade up against their throats.
Why not?
Why can't we just
Because
punch
that'd be wedging between the throat and dirt. Like that'd be like if I slid a dagger just across your throat.
No, Spencer,
No.
because there's a neck on the ground. We can hunch down by the neck.
He's
and
saying
hack
the
into
neck
the sides of the neck meat. That's not going to kill anything.
What?
Well,
Well, if you hack somebody,
Spencer, do you know
from
can I
the
get
neck,
someone from the
then-
audience to lay down, face down?
Oh,
Thanks,
they're face
Doug.
down.
Yeah,
Okay.
face down.
All right.
Yeah.
Look,
All right.
see-
So then
Now
I'm going to
slit
cut
his throat.
neck like this.
That's not
Well,
the
that's-
throat. That's the neck.
Yeah.
Okay, that
Okay.
works.
I'm
You could
going
do
to cut
that.
the
You
neck.
could do that.
I
Yeah.
just want to cut off the head.
Okay, sure.
Thank
Thank
you,
Doug.
sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
You could do that. Sorry, it's just
Oh,
not.
the old neck versus throat debate.
They're different.
All right, I
understand
have my.
confusion.
Also, the neck goes all the way around.
It sure does, and the throat is a very specific part of the.
All
neck.
right, we
Yeah,
put it
you-
to their necks.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Jesus, this fucking guide. Okay.
It has to make sense.
You guys said throat, man.
Well, maybe we want to get to the throat from the long way.
Well, you could do that. Definitely.
No, we're getting. We'll start at the neck and get to the throat. All right. Okay. So you count to 3, Sharpie.
Bear light.
No!
There's no such spell. You have nothing to worry about. There's no such spell.
But you yelling that
Count to 3.
could wake the bear up.
You want me to count to 3?
Are you a bear? What is your? Do you know?
Ask
bears?
around certain
Is
parts of
that-
town. You might. I will drop a handkerchief. What do you want from me?
No,
What is
wait,
this?
wait, okay.
Count to
you
3
can't-
and
we
we'll-
just want
Okay.
you to count to 3 so we can cut
Okay,
their
all
necks
right.
at the same time.
1.
Okay, we're doing it on 3. Yeah. Okay. Let's go. Start over.
It goes 1, 2, 3. Bear cut.
Okay.
Not 1, 2. Bear cut.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Bear cut.
1, 2. Bear cut.
No!
I'm fucking with you guys.
All your bear bits.
When
I
do
didn't know
we
you
get a
had so
chance
many-
to have a good time? We're always facing off with enemies that are bigger than us, and there's some sleeping bears.
We
They're
have to
adorable. It's a little sad.
Yeah.
I say, if we can't do this and have a little fun, all right. 1,
Wait.
2.
Hold on. Now I was standing up and yelling at you. Let me get back to my dagger on the neck.
All right. The neck, right? Not
Thank
the
you.
throat.
Yeah. Who gives
The,
a shit?
the dorsal surface of the neck. All right.
So bears don't sleep on their faces.
That's true. You can't argue that.
All right. We're doing.
But none
this.
of them hibernate.
1, 2. Remember, it's on 3, but not. It's 3
No, it's
and
1
then
to 3. Bear cut.
bear cut.
Yeah. We got it.
1, 2, 3.
I have to kind of pee.
I
Bear
cut.
cut.
I cut.
Bear
I
cut.
cut. I cut. I cut.
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 All right. Yeah.
Like it's a habit I'm trying to lose.
You find a sleeping bear rather easy to slaughter.
Oh, well, that's sad.
Oh, what did you.
Now I feel bad about it.
They're dead.
Oh yeah.
Like plucking a
Gurgling while struggling to cuddle you.
while looking for her cubs.
The exsanguinated mammals.
I don't.
What do you expect? You slit sleeping bears' throats.
I cut the head and I take the head off and I throw it up in the air and get under it so it lands on my own head like a crown.
Oh wait, it does that.
Bear killer. Let's get warm.
That's your big line after killing the bear? Let's get warm.
Yeah, things are heating up.
All right. Well,
okay, so do we know how to skin a bear?
I'm just gonna, can I just go for it? I'm just gonna cut off like an apple, the skin.
Like in a spiral?
No, good question. No.
it's like when you order a drink with a twist of bear.
Right. No. Like if I was eating a blueberry pie, but I was gluten-free, I cut off the crust. But I use the...
I like that got a more gross
People
response
are very
than us
upset.
chopping a bear's head off and wearing it as a crown. That was fine, but not eating the crust of a pie? Gross. Monsters.
I'm going to go down with my mage light and make sure the rest of the cave is unoccupied.
Oh, it's a very shallow cave. There's not really anything else to even explore.
I just take a moment to myself and I just go, life.
All right.
Okay, we start skinning the bears.
Yeah, Dignity manages to cut off several ragged chunks of pelt that can probably be stitched together or, turned into clothes in some way.
Or just vomited on. All right.
Ha!
Oh, you know what I just found out? I remembered I'm allergic to bear pelt. Fuck.
No, I mean, it's not like we're not working for you. I mean, we're going to stay warm or we're going to die.
What was that test?
They put a bear pelt on me, and it had a very bad reaction.
What do you want us to find? Kangaroo? We got to... Okay, so
I'm not allergic to kangaroo.
Maybe you could just wear mud.
That's very harsh. Not nice.
I mean, weird twist. Like we'll put on the bear and can you stitch?
I think so.
She starts stitching the bear.
She doesn't have any stitches.
Oh, you're not. What's her name?
Not as far as I know.
Yeah.
You're not. What's her name? I have thieves' tools. Would they have like needles and?
No.
Okay.
Fuck. Boy,
Well, we're not going to be cold forever. Maybe can you stand between us with a coat of mud to not be allergic?
Well, but I don't know how we're going to stitch the bear pelts into coats anyway.
Well, I was just thinking about cutting the bear pelts and then cutting like a poncho.
Oh yeah, like a circular.
Yeah, 2 bear ponchos.
Bunch of
I'll
bear,
take
and
the
then
stomach.
you put a hole, and then you drape
You'll
them over
take the
like
back.
a Christmas tree skirt.
Yes, and then a rope around the waist so it looks like sleeves.
Oh, you know how we fucked up? If we hadn't cut the bear's head all the way off, we could have had like a hoodie with like the bear head. That's fucking cool. But we cut the head all the way off.
We can ask Baskins to point us in the direction
of more bears.
Oh, Baskins, what are you doing?
The hood on.
Oh, I'm just hanging out. What are you doing?
We're looking for an ending. Trying to.
I'm pelting the bears to create a bear fur poncho.
That happens. You do that. You make 2 ponchos.
I remember my mother.
It's uncomfortable.
That's good. That's good. Keep going. Keep going. That's the way. That's where the ending is.
She was a bear.
Oh no! She was a bear.
My mom was a bear.
So you just remembered that your mom was a bear. So we're walking into this cave and you're like, where are the bears we can kill? And now you recall.
My dad.
So you're half bear.
We left my dad. somewhere. Buried? Didn't we leave my dad somewhere? Admiral Darkstar. The Shards of Power.
Your mom's a bear.
Your mom's like a
worm
bear,
people.
bear.
Worm people. Yeah, I made that one up. I found treasure. I didn't.
Are you disgusted by us beheading these bears?
Oh, I'm so.
Your mom's friends, they did mahjong together. All these bears.
I sit down and I start crying.
I'm not gonna help. Figure out an ending.
Right.
I'm sitting here.
I sit down and I start crying, and then my tears fall down to the dirt, and then I look at the pattern of tears.
And it spells out the end.
No.
To be continued.
Nope.
Nope.
You
It's a
said you weren't
claw.
gonna help.
I'm not gonna help.
I notice that the rate of my tears and the distance of my tear stains on the ground have a certain correlation that allows me to invent geometry. I figure it
If
out.
I'm not allowed to make a fishing pole,
I invent geometry.
No. I mean, geometry already
At least
exists.
fucking roll to see.
Yeah, at
if
least
he
roll to
invents
see if I invent geometry. Are you
Why
saying-
don't you roll?
It's already invented.
Okay,
it's,
well, who
it's
invented
circles
it?
and shit.
Who invented
You
it?
don't know. It's not in the common history. And you're not well educated.
But I'm thinking that I invented it in this
Friggin'
moment.
Earth
But
and
what?
space.
Yeah, what do
invented
they not have?
geometry.
Do they have calculus? Do they have trigonometry? What do they not have?
they don't have trigonometry.
All right,
but
well,
they
then
have
invent
I
trigonometry.
pre-calculus.
invent trigonometry.
Well, you don't know trigonometry to invent it.
Well, but no one
I'm
can
ve-
because it doesn't exist yet. So he knows just as much as anybody else. He knows that it should exist. That's more than most people.
All right, explain trigonometry if you know
Okay.
it so bad.
Okay.
Say anything about trigonometry.
Okay. So you know geometry?
Yeah.
Like 3 of those. All right. Good night, folks. We'll see you next week.